So excited that it's Tuesday. Sad that Jim's not here because he is currently in Virginia doing Scares That Care. He will be calling in. I'm not entirely sure when. However, happy Tuesday, everybody. So today I have my earmuffs on because I'm wearing Jim's headphones and he has a big head. Sorry, Jim. Is he talking to me? All right. Keith is on the phone. All right, so today we have Keith's wife, Melissa, with us, and I am going to bring her in. Yay. Woohoo! Hey, everyone! Woohoo! So I am having Melissa with me so that I'm not alone in the studio by myself and you guys aren't staring at me. And there's Jim. Hey, Jim. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
You started the show already?
It's 4:33.
Wow. We'll just tell everybody who our sponsors are.
No, I literally just let my first breath out.
Oh.
So everybody, our sponsors are for our show, what do you call them, Jim? The Big Three?
The Mohegan Sun Big Three, Lansdowne Pub, Avalon Nightclub, and Vista Lounge. Take it, Gina.
Okay, that I love Vista. I love Avalon too, but I don't like paying a $20 cover charge, so sorry, Chris, Cody. So, Jim, why don't you tell us about Scares That Care?
Scares That Care. Well, first of all, I am down here in Williamsburg, Virginia right now, and we are getting one of them outstanding southern thunderstorms.
Oh, man.
So it's been messing with the internet. The internet has actually been knocked out here at the hotel. But no worries, because we don't start until Thursday night. But Scares That Care is a 501c3 IRS-approved charity. We're all volunteer. None of us get paychecks. And what we do is we select 3 families a year, one with a child suffering from chronic or terminal illness, one that has been burnt, and a woman that is suffering from breast cancer. And we run certain events throughout the year to raise money, and we present each of them with a check for $10,000 at the hopefully at the end of the year, depending on how good the events go.
That's awesome.
And this is our main event down here. This is the Scares That Care Charity Weekend. We have all kinds of celebrity guests, authors, vendors, you name it, they're down here. And it's a great time, and all proceeds go straight to these families.
That is awesome. When I worked at Stop and Shop, we did something like that. It was called the Jimmy Fund, and there was a little girl one year who was right out of Salem, Connecticut. And my mom actually served her lunch because my mom was a lunch lady there. And this little girl, her name was Bryn, she had cancer. She was only 4 years old. And the first time she had it, she was, I believe it said 18 months old. So it kind of hit home because she was born the same month as my oldest. So I started doing a lot of things for the family, holding fundraisers for them, supporting them, going to their charities. And Bryn actually passed away a week before her 7th birthday last year. Yeah, she was only 6 years old. So they had her celebration of life on her 7th birthday. I was able to attend, and it was actually a very phenomenal ceremony, and I think of Bryn every single day. But I did a lot for that family, and I know how important it was to them and how much it meant to them. So I can only imagine how these families feel that you guys are doing so much for them.
And a lot of people don't realize it's not just the health care cost at all.
Right.
You have families that are uprooting and spending time at the hospital or whatever, and the money goes to offset any of the expenses that these families have.
Yeah.
Whether it be hotel stays, whether it be food, whatever it is.
Exactly. Like even their household bills. I remember when one of my really good friends, her mom had pancreatic cancer, and they spent a lot of their time in the hospital. So her dad had stopped working. Obviously, her mom wasn't working. So she actually started a GoFundMe for so that they could pay their mortgage because they weren't obviously working, and she was too young. So they started a GoFundMe page, and it raised actually enough money for them to pay their mortgage for 4 months.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So it was good to see, you know, all of her friends and family and people who are sharing it and paying and, you know, doing all that other good stuff help out. But, you know, like you said, it's not just for the healthcare costs. It's for your actual living expenses, too, because people don't realize that just because you're sick doesn't mean that you're still not making a paycheck.
Absolutely correct.
So, I mean,
And Kane Hodder.
I was just going to ask who's down there.
Well, Kane's not going to be here this year, but Kane did help start the charity.
Right.
And if you don't know who Kane Hodder is, Kane has played Jason in 4 of the Friday the 13th movies. He's played Victor Crowley, and he's been in just hundreds of movies. And Kane was doing a stunt one time. He was doing it for a reporter, and it went wrong. And Kane was severely burnt, very severely burnt. Spent a lot of time in the burn ward, and there is a documentary out now. I believe it is on Amazon. It's called The Killer and I, and it talks about the whole Kane Hodder story, and that's how we came into the burn recipient. And the one thing that Kane taught us is they're not a burn victim. They're not a victim.
No, they're a survivor.
So they are a burn survivor. They are our burn recipient. And that's obviously something near and dear to his heart, going through what he went through. And you got to watch the documentary, because he went through the worst of the worst. He went to a hospital that really wasn't equipped to deal with burn patients, and they really did a number on him. And eventually he was sent to an actual burn facility where he got the proper treatment and recovery, and that's what made Kane the man he is today.
Right, and like I completely understand when he says you're a burn survivor, because I've never been a burn victim,
Right.
but I am a victim of depression and anxiety. So I don't look at myself as somebody who suffers from that. I am a survivor. I overcame it. I got through it, and now that I know how to handle it, it's easier to pass along to other people and to help other people and to involve other people and really get the message out there that you're not by yourself, that you're not alone, that you're okay, that you're going to be able to get through this. And I know you can't save everybody, but it feels really good when you can help, even if it's just one person. So like a couple weeks ago when we talked about the Me Too movement, sharing my story, if that helps at least one person, then I did my job. And that's what being a survivor is about. It's about helping those around you and being a story for those that are going through it currently.
Yeah, it's huge. And you're right. I mean, we can't save everybody, and unfortunately, the people that we're trying to help, or that we're helping one way or another, some of them have some pretty serious terminal illnesses, and it's only a matter of time. But if we can send them on a trip to Disney World, or if we can, like I said, help offset some of the costs and whatever they need it for, that's what we're here for.
Exactly. And speaking of Disney World, tomorrow starts the month of August, which I am very excited about because it's birthday month. And then in 15 short days after that, I will be on a plane to Disney World to spend my time for my birthday in Disney World. And I am so excited. So I know the joy that Disney World can bring. So to bring it to people that are sick or going through some things. And let me tell you, Disney World is no joke. That does put pure happiness on your face. I am 20. I will be 26. I am 25 currently, and I have been to Disney twice in my life. Both times, I will not forget the fact that I was pregnant both times, so I could have been more emotional about it. However, it was a fantastic experience both times, and I am very excited to go back and do it again. So I can't wait to come back and share with everybody how my...
I do want to picture you with the Mickey ears on.
Oh my gosh, I have one of those now. Who are you kidding? Like, obviously I'm going to buy new ones and sport them, but I think I'm going to buy mini ears this time because I have a pair of Mickey ears. But I will find my
Mickey Mini.
Yeah, but Mickey ears are like those standard, like that cap with the ears, the elastic that goes around your chin. I have one of those, and I have pictures. And then I think I'm just going to get a mini headband because it's going to be super hot. And when I went last time in August, it was really hot, and I wore my hair up most of the time. So you can't really wear a hat with your hair up. So, girl logic, I'll just get a headband.
Well, there you go.
Yes. So, this isn't exactly Gina's corner. I do have... Oh, Keith brought me a portable charger, and I don't have a plug. Thanks, though. It was a good time. I know, I was in the car. So, this isn't for Gina's corner because I definitely have something serious that I want to talk about in Gina's corner. However, you did bring up the fact about the Kiki challenge, so let's get that out of the way.
Not even so much. I mean, the Kiki challenge in itself is stupid. My thing is this hot water / boiling water challenge. Just
I've never even seen that.
Stupid.
Keith.
How stupid do you have to be to drink a pot of boiling water or have a pot of boiling water poured on you?
That's a thing right now?
This is a real thing. If you look it up, it's called the hot water challenge. Obviously, everybody that's been doing it has ended up, as we said earlier, in a freaking burn ward.
Right.
Because you're pouring hot water down your throat. I believe 2 people have already died because of this stupidity.
Oh, that is disgusting. Melissa just looked it up. What are you waving your hands at me for? We're having a charades. No, what's it called? Charades?
I heard her snapping her fingers. I thought she was trying to get my
I was
attention.
snapping them at Gina.
Yeah, no, I was looking at her article she pulled up about the burn water challenge or hot water.
It says a 15-year-old boy suffered second-degree burns after his friend poured boiling water on him as a joke. The joke is a part of the hot water challenge, which involves either throwing boiling water on someone or having a person drink the boiling water through a straw. At 212 degrees Fahrenheit, boiling water can cause serious second or third-degree burns to the skin, which require immediate medical attention.
Ouch.
I don't even listen. I don't even like straining pasta and having the little tiny droplets splash on me. I could not imagine pouring the hot water on me or drinking it. No.
I thought the Kiki challenge was getting out of your car and dancing.
It is.
Oh,
This
that's
is
what that one is.
far worse.
That's
Yeah.
a completely different challenge.
Yeah, but we're talking about stupid
that
things
makes-
that people are doing that they probably shouldn't, and the Kiki challenge falls underneath that because...
This is
They're
as bad
getting
as
out
the
of their
cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, that was bad too. Do you remember that? Or the Tide Pod.
Yes.
People were getting sick. First of all, people were inhaling the plastic on the Tide Pods and choking on them, and then they were eating the actual detergent and getting sick. Like, you're dumb. Don't do that. Who raised you?
If I'm correct, somebody actually died from that.
Yeah, they did. Whoever did that, they're dumb, and I hope everybody hears that because I don't think that anybody in their right mind would do something like that. Like, I can understand the ice bucket challenge, which we did to raise awareness for...
ASL.
Yep. And...
ALS.
Sorry.
Whatever.
Yes, ALS.
But, like, that was fine because, I mean, how cold can cold water get? Like, pretty cold, but I don't think it's going to do enough, especially a little bucket, to damage anything. And you didn't hear reports about anybody getting hurt with that, except for, like, the fail videos where they were, like, dropping the buckets on their head.
Yeah, or they try to come up with some elaborate, stupid scheme and it backfires.
Yeah, but that was just a generic way to raise awareness. That was fine. But people who were doing the cinnamon challenge, the Tide Pod challenge, the this hot water challenge, that's ridiculous. Kiki challenge. Like, it's one thing to do something from the comfort of your own home, but don't get out of your car and walk. That guy who got hit by a car, someone shared that video. Was it you, Jim?
Yeah, I believe so.
He was doing the Kiki challenge, and he actually got hit by a car. And it was... I had watched it several times. At first, I thought it was funny. I laughed because, like, that's what you get. But then I didn't laugh because that's serious.
What about the guy that walked into the signpost?
Oh my God, that was
That was funny, too.
hilarious.
There does appear to be one of the videos with somebody getting struck by a car that is questionable.
Yeah, there's a
Could be
lot of them.
staged video.
Yep, spoofs.
I mean, it looked pretty staged. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the one that I saw was not staged at all. He panicked and tried to run, and the car screeched to a halt and slammed into him. So
wow,
that's,
I believe that is the one I posted.
that one was. I was like, I want to laugh, but I know this is serious, so I'm not going to. But I did anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
So other than the thunderstorms, how's the weather been in Virginia?
Yeah, pretty crappy, honestly.
Oh,
I hit a storm on the way down here that was like a hurricane.
oh. Who'd you carpool with?
And it, April Crowell.
Because I saw your
She's an
live videos.
actress. Oh, yeah. She's one of the actresses, and she lives down here in Virginia. She flew up so that she could ride down with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Keith said that's what she said. Well, listen, I thought it was funny. Apparently, it's not that funny to anybody else, but we thought it was funny. Okay, so today, what else are we talking about? MLB cutoffs. I don't know anything about baseball, so take it away, Jim.
No, trade deadline. We'll worry about that in a minute. What do you got for Gina's Corner?
Oh, okay. So obviously, it's going to be Gina's hour because I feel like this is a really heated topic. So it's not really a heated topic. It's just it's not a publicly aware. Even Melissa didn't know until like 5 minutes before the show when I told her. So it's been a big question. So obviously last week I let everybody know that I had a new boyfriend, and I've been getting a lot of questions about him, just from people in general, just getting messages on Facebook who've seen his page, don't really understand, or they do understand, but they don't really get it. So basically, because I know most of the viewers that are watching right now are my friends, so maybe this will clear some things up for them and anybody else who's listening. So Mace is actually transgendered. That means...
Yeah, well, before you continue, did you share this on my page?
Share what on your page?
The show.
No.
Well, share it on my page.
Keith did.
Okay.
Don't worry, we got it under control. The only one I didn't share it to is Project Arrowhead because I am not a member of that one.
Yeah.
I'm not admin. So, anyway, so Mace is transgendered. That means that he was born a girl. So, in his body, his heart, his mind, he knew he wasn't a girl.
He felt more comfortable as a guy.
Right. So he made the decision a little over a year ago to go on testosterone and start going through the transition to become a man. So he still has girl parts, but he classifies and identifies as a man. He is currently in California looking to get a job at Starbucks because Starbucks is actually really supportive of transgendered people, and they are going to, once he gets established and starts getting the medical benefits, they will cover top surgery. And that's really, to me, it doesn't matter. I will like him no matter what he looks like, whether he gets top surgery or not. But this is important to him because it just validates that he's a man. To himself and to everybody else. He wouldn't have to wear a binder anymore, which is basically a super, super strong sports bra, just to kind of make it a little bit easier to understand for our listeners. May said, if you want to talk about my girl parts, at least shout the GoFundMe. Listen, I was going to get to that. Will you relax, sir? Do not rush me. So, basically, a binder is a really strong and tight sports bra, so it basically flattens you. And I've been getting a lot of questions about it, like, is it weird to be with somebody who's transgendered? And I didn't really know how to answer it because I've never been with somebody who's transgendered. Obviously, not even 3 months ago, I was with my first girl, and she was a big deal. She called into the show all the time, so everybody knew who she was. Shout out to Sarah if she's listening, but she's crazy, so I really don't think she is. That's another topic for an entirely different show. Hi, Mom. So I went from being with my first girl to meeting Mace and really liking him, and even from our first FaceTime, we kicked it off. We had such a good connection, and the transgender thing just didn't really matter. It wasn't something that I was like, okay, it's make or break. Like, I can't do this. His personality is fantastic. His attitude about life is fantastic. He's funny. He makes me laugh. He makes me happy. He's a human being. There's nothing, how you identify it doesn't define really who you are, other than if you're male or female. It doesn't change the person he is. And if he's more comfortable identifying as a guy and going through the transitioning, then I support him 100%. And, obviously the biggest question is, he lives in California. How do you maintain a relationship halfway across the country? Or all the way across the country, really. And it's not that hard. I know that he's doing this for himself, and I know that he's doing this to make himself more comfortable. So I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. He, knows where I live. I'm not in any rush. I don't need him to be here every second of every day. I talk to him every single day. But not a lot of people really understand what transgendered is. Not a lot of people, we all know what gay and lesbians are. Like, we know how they identify and we know what they do. So I pulled up the Wikipedia page about transgender, and we're all going to learn about it. So at this point, so transgender is an umbrella term in addition to including people whose gender identity is the opposite of their assigned sex, so trans men and trans women. It may include people who are not exclusively masculine or feminine, so people who are genderqueer or non-binary, including bigender, pangender, gender fluid, or agender. So it's not a relatively old term, but being pansexual, now that I've met Mace and now that I've been involved with Sarah, knowing how I feel about each of them, I was never really looking at them as what they are. So I never looked at Sarah as her being a girl, and I don't look at Mace as being a guy. These two people just made me very happy. They, gave me such an emotion that whether you're a guy or girl is not going to make a difference. So being pansexual just means you don't look at them for their gender. You look at them as, the feelings that they give you. And with Mace, I publicly enjoy sharing things about my man. And even if people don't agree with it, they can just delete me off Facebook because I really don't care. And if they don't like how much I put my boyfriend on a pedestal, then it's not my problem. They can also delete me off Facebook. Because there are people who know Mace, and there are people that don't know Mace, and there are people that are going to think that being transgendered is weird, or there's something wrong with it, or it's disgusting, or it's gross, or it's wrong. To me, those people are Bible thumpers, and they're literally waiting for God to come back that's not going to come back, so they can go elsewhere with their beliefs, and I don't care what they think. And what also helps be acceptable and understanding of this is I have kids. And if my kids ever came to me and said that they didn't feel comfortable in their body, and they, if my daughter came to me and said she felt like she was a boy, or she identified as a boy, or she was bringing home another girl, I would be completely okay with it. I would be completely open with it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. And I think having kids makes this a little bit easier, because I know with my mom, she's my biggest fan, and she is my best friend. And before any of this came out about Mace, I talked to her first, because she is, like I said, my best friend, and her approval means the most to me. So, if my mom didn't understand, I'd be lost without her. Like, I know she wants to see me happy, and I know she's here and she supports me, and she may not agree with most of these views towards transgender people, you know, it might not be her taste. It might not be, obviously, she's married to my dad, like, cool. And Chris Trenhall said, I don't care what they say. People with the wrong parts cannot breed. I don't know if that's a rude comment or not. I'm going to dismiss it for now, and I'll go back to it. But my mom's my biggest fan. So if she doesn't support me, and if she doesn't, you know, want to see me happy, and even if she doesn't agree with this, she keeps it to herself. She wants to see me happy. So I would want to be as open with my kids as possible. I would want to be as accepting, because I want my kids to feel like they have the relationship with me that I have with my mother. So as long as I'm happy, my mother is happy. So at the end of the day, you know, obviously I told her about Mace, and he really makes me happy, and I don't look at him as, you know, he's a girl. Although, side note, I will say that when we have like girl conversations, like if I mention something about like a girl menstrual cycle or something and he answers me, it's kind of weird and my brain can't process it, because I'm physically looking at him as a guy, even though I know he was born a girl, and I can't and I don't, he doesn't really understand, but I can't process it because I'm looking at you. You're a guy to me. You are everything a man has to me, other than, you know, your genitals, I guess. I don't even know if you can say that on the radio, but I'm going to. Other than that, you are a full man to me. And to talk to him about cramps, it's kind of weird. And my brain just doesn't really understand how to, like, mentally process it, which I guess is a good thing, because I strictly look at him how he wants to be looked at. He wants to be looked at as a man, and so that's how I view him. So my brain still has some working out to do with things like that. But other than that, like, my mom accepts this, and I want my kids to know that I'm going to accept things like this if it ever comes about.
Well, the big, I mean, there was a big controversy about it, I don't know, it was like a year ago, where basically people were stating it's the bathroom thing.
Yes.
Use whatever bathroom that you have the parts for. If you've got male parts, you use the men's room. If you have female parts, you use the female room. What is your take on that?
My take is, so looking at Mace, when you look at him, clothed, obviously, he looks like a man. He has a beard. He has a shaved head around the sides. He has hair on the top, but like he has a man's cut. He has rough hands like a man. Like they're not obviously manicured and stuff. He looks like a man. So if he were to walk in to a ladies' room, I can guarantee that somebody would freak out about it and say there's a man in the women's room, because he looks like a man. And his best friend, who I also have the pleasure of FaceTiming with every single day, he's also transgendered, and he has a full beard. Not anymore, he shaved it off for work, but he had a full beard. And I mean, I'm talking a beard, not just a little bit like Mace has a goatee, but Darian had a beard. And if he were to walk into, to me, like if he were to walk into a girl's room, I'd kind of be weird about it. Because I can physically see he's a man, and I don't know what's under his pants. But as far as I know, like Mace just said, no one notices the difference when Dee and I walk in. They use the men's room.
Right.
Because they're men. That's it. They're men. And Dee has had top surgery, so he doesn't wear a binder or anything because he doesn't need to. So even with his shirt off, he's a man. There's no physical difference between him on the beach and another man on the beach. So my take is, whatever you gender identify with, use that bathroom.
That was a big, huge topic, and you just crushed it in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They were going off on that for about a year. There's somebody who's on tangent on that.
No,
and
I should be in politics.
Boom.
I will settle things so quickly for you. But
no, you don't want to be in politics.
No, but I should be a lawyer. I should have my own talk show, where people bring issues to me and I crush them in 30 seconds and hand them back. What would we call that? We could call it Judge Judy the second. I could have the attitude
Gina's
like her.
crush.
Gina's crush. So, I don't know. Transgender to me is not that big of a deal. You are who you are. You're comfortable in your own body with how you want to be. If you identify as a boy and you're a girl, fine. If you identify as a girl and you're a boy, fine. I support it all. And I love everybody who, is open about their story. And like Mace, he shares his journey through transforming, like a transformer. I think that's
Like
cool.
a transformer?
Yeah, I'm dating a transformer.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call him.
I am Optimus Prime.
Yes. Yes. So I'm dating a transformer,
Well,
and I think
people
that's
on this
fantastic.
planet.
I think it's fantastic. Got myself a transformer, and I don't even have to go to the movies. I don't even have to be famous.
All right, so I'm looking at Chris's comment in here, and I kind of think I know what he's saying.
Good, spit it out,
Well.
because that kind of annoyed me.
All right, no, I'm pretty sure I know what he's saying. All right, so you guys are a male-female couple.
Right.
Hands down, whatever Mace was, shall be, Mace is a male. Okay? I think what he's saying is,
That makes sense, and it kind of annoys me even more.
if you guys get married and decide you want to have a baby, you won't be able to conceive naturally.
Okay, guess what? Yes, you can. Hold, please. Yes, we could. Yes, we could. I am going to solve this in 30 seconds or less. Kind of like a pizza, but you're not getting free delivery.
Yeah.
Well, this is free delivery because you're going to listen anyway.
You let me know where you get a pizza in 30 seconds or less.
This is true. I mean, after they deliver, I could walk it to you in 30 seconds or less. But other than that, no, you're not getting one. All right, so I am going to fix this. So say Mace and I wanted to have a baby. Say we are like
Correct.
10 years down the line and we're living together, we own our own house, and we want to have a baby. Fine. How would we do it? How could we, hypothetically speaking, how could we have a baby and not have the same parts? So, there's this cool thing called adoption, and that would make both of us the parents, which means it would legally be both of our children, so we could breed, and we both have viable eggs currently. If Mace wanted to freeze his eggs through this transition, we could do it, and he wouldn't carry the baby, I would. So it would be a part of both of us. It would be getting all of my nutrients, it would be getting all of my whatever pregnancy hormones that I am infusing in this baby. And when I deliver that baby and we both sign the birth certificate, we have both bred a baby. It's going to have, and I get where he's coming from, where we both, a sperm and an egg can't fuse to make a baby because you're both technically girls. At the end of the
Right,
day,
I think that's what he's saying is that, you can't in slot A into slot B and come out with...
But there are
C,
sperm banks.
Is what he's saying.
There are sperm banks, and I think that is the most ignorant comment. Whatever he meant, that is so ignorant, because you're right. People with the same parts can't breed. But there are also people who can't conceive babies because there's something wrong with them. There are also people who don't have a high sperm count that can't have their own babies. And there are solutions to that. There are ample solutions. You can have a surrogate. You can get a sperm donor. You can have in vitro fertilization. There are 1,000 different ways for you to have a baby with the person that you love at the end of the day, and it's going to still be your child. At the end of the day, you are still going to have a baby with the person you love. They're going to be a part of your family. You are going to raise them, and that's it. That's the end of the story. Period. Done. You don't need to have the same parts or different parts or be from the same country. You don't need to have certain looks to you. A family is a family. You can breed if you're the same sex.
I think you'd at least have to be in the same zip code.
No, not even necessarily. You can ship your sperm somewhere, or you can ship your eggs somewhere. They have UPS, Jim.
Gina, what are you mailing?
This is 2018. Don't act like they ain't shipping things over to foreign countries, okay? So, At the end of the day, if Mace and I ever got to a point where we wanted to have a baby, I would carry it. If he wanted to use his egg, that's fine. But at the end of the day, all we would need is a sperm donor. Sperm donors sign papers saying that they are no longer attached to this sperm, and it is for reproductive purposes only. What happens if Sarah and I wanted to have a baby?
What else would it be used for?
I don't know, but all I'm saying is people sign a form
sperm
saying...
to be used for reproduction uses only.
Right, they can't...
Any other uses...
you will be arrested for. No, all I'm saying is they can't come back and be like, I want to be a part of my child's life. This is for reproductive purposes only. That doesn't involve you. So that, I think that got under my skin more than it should have, but it did because there are ways to reproduce. Not saying Mace wants to use or freeze his eggs. Not saying that we are going to have a baby in the future. It's just a hypothetical situation. So that being said, if Mace and I wanted to have a baby, that is how we would do it. We can reproduce. We can make that decision because it's my body harboring his egg. And then we just go find somebody, hey, could you here's a cup. Here's some magazines. We need that. Where's my turkey baster? At the end of the day, that's all we need to do. I mean, maybe in a sterile setting with maybe rubber gloves and stuff, but it's still, that's like saying people who adopt kids, that's not really their kids. They're not really family. They are.
I'm in the mood. Grab the baster.
Yeah, let's go. Honey, no, we used it for Thanksgiving. It's in the top drawer. Ew. Oh my God.
You stuffed the turkey with that.
You put it in the
Oh, we're going to hell.
my goodness. What did we learn on the show today, kids? How to get pregnant by turkey baster. So,
Baby eating care.
I know, but what was his name? Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, Chris, I don't care what you say. People with the same parts can breed. Just like people with the same parts can adopt. We're all still going to be family at the end of the day. Well, not all of us. Let's not do that. We're not in the South. Christ, Gina. Getting myself ahead of the South here. So, wow. That really made me all heated. I'm sweating and everything.
Gina is sweating. Join in. Watch Gina sweat.
Is that what that smell is?
Keith, let me tell you right now. I will light your apartment on fire.
Oh, my God.
How's that?
That's horrible.
I know, I'm a terrible person. I actually never lit anything on fire. Actually, that is a lie.
Just this show.
I know. Pew! I actually lit a tick on fire once because it was in my dog's ear and I didn't know what else to do with it, so I put it in a pot with paper towels and I lit the paper towels on fire until it burst.
Oh, thank God, because the way you made it sound was you lit your dog's ear on fire. I was about to his phone.
No.
That's horrible.
No, he still has both of his ears.
Well, that's
So,
good.
at the end of the day, he has both his ears and the tick was dead. So, hold please. Let me see what else we can get for learning about transgender. So,
Hey, you know what? Basically, all you got to learn is transgender people are who they are. They're not any different. They're the same person. Well, pretty much the same person they were beforehand.
just more comfortable.
Just freaking let them live their lives and keep your opinions to yourself. I mean, because nobody's perfect. There's nobody on this planet that's perfect. And if you tell me you are, I'm going to bitch slap you because I know you're lying.
Exactly.
If they're not hurting you.
No.
You know, they don't have some freaking disease. They're not. Or my other favorite one is there's a mental lapse in that. No.
I was just getting to that. I was on the mental health care part. That makes me upset. There's nothing mentally wrong with you for feeling the way you do. And again, this goes back to religion and people who are stoned for feeling like this. And I get it. But I don't get it at the same time.
But you know what? It's not even religion. I mean, yeah, sure, there are some out there that will go off on tangents and whatnot. It's just people. It's the racism, the negativity, the I can't even think of a good word for it. But if you're not them, then they have a problem with you.
Exactly.
Whether you're black, green, Chinese, straight, gay, transgender, whatever you are, if you don't fit in their little mold, then they think you're wrong. And unfortunately, most of them voice their opinions, and they voice their opinions quite a bit.
Right. And most mental health professionals, they recommend therapy for internal conflicts. And especially if somebody wants to transition, they will tell you to go to a psychologist and see if they can change your mind. And for somebody like that, there is no mind changing. You feel how you feel.
It doesn't always work, though. You know that?
No.
I'm a little bummed about it, because I was identifying as a millionaire, and
Jim.
yeah, I still have no money.
Jim. You got me all the way turned up just now. What are you even... Listen. Okay? You have me so turned up. I was so ready to be like, Jim, you identified as a girl? Like, what? You identify as a millionaire. I get it. Cool. So... Moving along, thank you for that. That was fantastic. I literally, like, my face dropped. I was just like, You what? You identify as what? So, physical health care. Medical and surgical procedures exist for transsexual and some transgender people, though most categories of transgender people described above are not known for seeking the following treatments. So, obviously, we know hormone replacement therapy for trans man includes beard growth and masculinizes skin, hair, voice, and fat distribution. So that would be basically what Mace is going through. Hormone replacement therapy for trans women feminizes fat distribution and breasts. Laser hair removal or electrolysis, I don't know what to say, whatever that word is, removes excess hair for trans women, but most insurances don't pay for that. Surgical procedures for trans women feminize the voice, skin, face, Adam's apple, breasts, waist, buttocks, and genitals. Surgical procedures for trans men masculinize the chest and genitals and remove the womb, ovaries, and fallopian tubes. The acronyms GRS and SRS refer to genital surgery. So it's basically sexual reassignment therapy. It is used in an umbrella term for physical procedures required for transition. Use of the term sex change has been criticized for emphasis on surgery, and the term transition is preferred. So basically, as much as we all know the term sex change, that transition is more of a better put word. It's more of a gentle word, because to transition for a man, especially because I know, because I'm dating somebody who's doing it, he takes testosterone shots every week, I think, every Sunday. So he nervously, Callie! Oh, hi, pretty girl.
Oh, wow, I hear Callie.
Yes, you do. She's very vocal. So,
well, you know, with me being, I am bisexual. My girlfriend never gives it to me. The only way I can get it is to buy it. So
listen. You need to stop. Oh my, he is just. Did you hear him? He said he is bisexual. His girlfriend doesn't give him, so the only way he has to do it is to buy it.
Oh my.
I am done. Jim, you know what? You are literally killing me. What is happening right now? Oh my goodness.
Well, I miss being here in the studio. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's crappy down here. It's freaking raining and miserable.
Oh my!
I've been bounced around 3 different rooms already.
This is terrible. This is so in the United States, a federal bill to protect workers from discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity, the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, which most of us know because we get a copy of it when you go into work, My mom said, "Good one, Jim." Mom, it wasn't that good. Gosh.
Thanks, Mom.
So, I
Well,
guess.
let me tell you something. Before you go any further on that, all right, Jim's Corner. This really...
Wait, Jim's
this
Corner
really-
can't interrupt Gina's hour.
Well, trust me, this pisses me off. Okay, you cannot discriminate against, well, basically anybody for any reason.
I know.
Whether it's color, whether it's social class, whether it's transgender, whether it's gay, whatever. All right? You can't discriminate against them for that.
Supreme Court is trying to.
Yep.
So now employees, they've kind of gotten smart. I guess you could call them smart, or they've just become very deceiving.
I guess
They
so.
will look for another reason. And it doesn't even have to be a legit reason. Well, here we have zero tolerance policy. You were 3 minutes late, you're fired.
Of course they will.
And I see it all the time. I see it not where I work. I mean, where I work, people are great. You know,
Oh yeah, you'll find
don't
places
care.
that will completely empower these people, and that's like Starbucks. They love veterans and they love transgender people. And Mace is both. He's a veteran and he's transgendered. So that's why he feels like Starbucks is the best fit for him, especially going through the transition of top surgery, which if anybody wants to donate to his GoFundMe page, then message me because I don't know the link. Unless he wants to drop it below if he's still listening. But there was a girl, her name was Nicole. She took a case to Maine's Supreme Court in June.
Nicole what?
Nicole Maines. Ironically, I didn't want to
Okay.
confuse people because it's Nicole Maines, and she took the case to
From-
Maine's
Nicole
Supreme.
Maine for Maine.
Yes. So, in June 2013, she argued that being denied access to her school's women's restroom was a violation of the Human Rights Act, and one state judge had disagreed with her. But she won her lawsuit against the school district in January 2014 before the Supreme Judicial Court. And on May 14, 2016, the United States Department of Education and Department of Justice issued guidance directing public schools to allow transgendered students to use bathrooms that match their gender identities. So so her case basically opened up doors for other people who are transgendered, because now so the GoFundMe page is GoFundMe, GoFundMe.com/5MVOQH4.
Bingo! Oh,
So, I will be sharing it on my page later if anybody wants to. I will share it to the Project Arrowhead page in case anybody listening wants to, and the United FM, and anywhere else we can think of. And if anybody wants to help Mace get his top chopped, which is my favorite way to say it.
wow.
Anybody wants to, well, that's what he calls it, the Top Chop Fund. It's fun. It's a nice way to say it, I guess. If anybody wants to help Mace get his top chopped, you can feel free to do so, etc., etc. Anyway, so yeah, so she won her case, and that just kind of opened up more doors. And Mace said he's
Hey,
always
so-
listening to me, obviously.
Do you remember during Shark Week when I was talking about how...
Which Shark Week? Women's Shark Week or this actual Shark Week?
The actual Shark Week. Well, we talked about that whole thing, and the combination. And they, they're talking about how they're looking for the biggest and fastest mako sharks, and then all of a sudden they pop up in Watch Hill, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And remember I said I'm never swimming in the Squamish again?
Yeah, did you see that?
Well, a couple days ago, a great white shark, a 6-foot juvenile great white shark, was caught a quarter of a mile off of Mesquamicut. You could see the windjammer and patties and all of that, and I was just like, oh, hell no. Now, at the same time, 2 kids were attacked by a shark, what I believe was a thresher shark, off of Long Island.
Wrong.
The inside of Long Island.
This is why I don't swim in the ocean.
Sound. Then, last weekend, a girl found a baby thresher shark that was stuck in some rocks and had almost beached itself. She picks up this 4-foot thresher shark and throws it back in the ocean. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Block Island. No. There are more and more sharks starting to come into the Long Island Sound. And, I mean, we've always had sharks. Not the big Mag Daddies like you see it now. But, I mean, we've had, like, the dogfish type sharks and all that. Now we're getting the big boys, makos, threshers, great freaking white. Yeah, no, I'll be swimming in the pool. Thank you very much.
I do not swim when I go to the beach. Absolutely not. There is no way you're about to catch me in the ocean, especially when that shark that was at Misquamicut was so close to the... No, wrong. There goes my leg. There goes my arm. Oh, look, I don't have a butt anymore. Absolutely not. I'm not doing it. No, you can catch me in the pool, not even a pond, because I don't like when those silly little fishes come up and nip your toes. I don't like those either. So you're about to catch me laying on the beach tanning, and I'll go find a friend's pool and swim in there. There are no little fish that are going to be biting my toes, and there's no shark.
Those weren't fish. Those weren't fish.
What were they?
I'm not saying. I can't say it on the air.
Ew! Why would they be biting my toes, first of all? Like, if you're about to come that close to me, at least make it worthwhile.
Over in...
Oh, God.
Actually, I think it's down in South America. In some of the stream, I want to say in, like, Colombia and down there. And also, like, over in Vietnam and Laos and some of those areas over there. In the water, they have these little parasites. And if you urinate while you're in the water, they will literally swim, yeah, new word, swim up the stream of your urine and...
Into your...
Right into your urethra, and oh, yeah.
No, sir. Oh, no. That is wrong. That is very, very wrong.
Yep, there's some nasty little parasites.
That would make me very uncomfortable, obviously, because you're about to have a little fish swimming in your urethra. Jeez.
Yeah.
Say it, Gino. Just spit it out.
Urethra?
That's what she said. Because I said spit it out. Get it? So, Keith put our names on the screen. You can't see them because me and Melissa are sharing split screen, but on my, like, on the individual screen before I went to the larger screen, here, I'll show you. Let's play. Hold on, Jim. Here I am, and it says Gina Peltier. Right there. Here it is. See it? And when you come back, it'll say Jim, however you pronounce your last name.
Really, my toes.
And then when all three of us are on here, it'll say all three of us names. Let's speak about Glenn. When is he coming back?
Glenn will be back in a couple weeks.
That's not very...
2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, there was just a bug crawling on my leg. Y'all got me real turnt right now.
What kind of bug?
It was a fly. It made me nervous.
Oh. Callie will get it.
Why?
Callie kills flies. She'll get it.
I didn't know. Yeah, my cats kill flies too, let me tell you. This is the season for them. But it was just crawling on me. I instantly thought it was a spider. Hello, Peter, Lara. Hello. Shout out to Mr. Peter Lara. Okay, so I can't wait to have Glenn back.
So guess where everybody wants to go to dinner tonight?
Where?
I mean, we're down here in Virginia. We can go to any place in the world.
McDonald's.
They want to go to the Irish pub.
Ew.
Wouldn't be so bad if I didn't work in an Irish pub every day of the week.
True, you do. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I'm like, I can get this much better.
Yes.
All week long.
Who did I meet? What was his name? He came through. James, Josh. His last name started with a T. Who was it?
Randy.
Randy. Oh my gosh. I met him. And he's
You
so...
met our head chef, Randy.
He's so sweet. Oh my goodness. I didn't know it was
Randy's a
him.
good guy.
I made him circle around because his prescription wasn't ready. And then it was ready. And then he asked me if I figured out if they were tadpoles or mosquitoes. and I... What is that? What did just beat? We got a phone call? We got another phone call.
Yes.
Oh my God, someone else is calling. Jim, someone's calling.
Well, how is somebody calling us?
I don't know.
Call waiting.
Let's answer it.
Okay, bye, Jim.
Hold on, Jim.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, one of those guys.
Gina's Pizza House. How can I help you?
Jim, you there?
I am here.
They hung up.
They couldn't talk, apparently.
My own damn show.
Wow, I feel really sad because we've never had a caller that I wasn't expecting. You guys want to hear a fun story?
Kellogg did.
Kellogg's did. You are absolutely right. That lady was so confused. I'm like, hi, you're on the air. And she's like, huh? What? What are we? So last night, for anybody who knows, I know we're going to do a show on this for like mental disorders and stuff. I suffer from severe anxiety. So, one of my really big triggers is vomit. I have 3 kids. Go figure, right? Yeah. Ugh. So, last night I was in the shower, and I got out, and my son was in his room with my youngest, and they are both in big boy and big girl beds because so last week Luca climbed into Tootie's crib and ripped his frenulum on his lip, and we had to take him to the hospital. So Tootie can't be in a big girl crib anymore because she has to be in a big boy bed. I mean, I'm so confused. What am I doing with my life? So let me start over. Luca fell, ripped his lip on the crib. Tootie's in a big girl bed. All right, we're all caught up. So they're both in big children beds. And last night I could hear them playing, and I went in there to scold them and put them back into their beds. And Luca had his diaper off, and he pooped everywhere. So, oh my goodness, someone's calling. Hurry, quick, answer it. I'll finish my story in a minute. Psst.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, Jim.
Caller, you're on the air.
Oh, sorry about that. When I called you a second ago, sorry, is that I accidentally pressed the wrong button when I was looking at your website. My fault.
That's okay.
Well, anything you want to talk about since you're on the air?
No, I just want to say hi to everyone.
Oh, well, hello to you.
Hi, thank you for
Hello.
calling.
I like your radio rock.
Thank you. That means a lot to us.
All right.
Where you calling from?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Well, I'll talk to you guys later whenever I got a chance.
All right, sounds good.
All right. See you all later.
Bye.
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 And Jim's back.
Jim, that was so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm listening to it.
Oh. Anyway, so let's get back to my story. So,
Yeah. I wonder if Steve Harvey gets put on hold.
oh my goodness. Well, see, Jim,
Jeez.
the difference between you and Steve Harvey is Steve Harvey's funny.
Oh!
Ouch.
And Gina just blew everyone's speakers out.
Okay. And he has a mustache. And he has his own game show. Should I go on? Anyway. So, where was I? Oh, so I went in there, cleaned him up, put him in the bath. He was crying. Lewis, call. If you're going to call. So, I cleaned him up, put him in the bath. He was crying, so I figured he was thirsty. Got him and Tootie something to drink. And put them back in bed. Went back in the bathroom to finish, cleaning up after my bath and his bath. And I could hear him crying. So I went back in there, and he said that he choked. And all down the front of him was soaked. All in front of him on the mattress was soaked. And all behind his head, like from when he was laying down.
Oh, wait a minute. So Mace choked because Tootie punched him in the lip and broke something in his lip.
Right. No. Mace is in California, so he has nothing to do with the story.
Oh.
Luca was choking, And I thought he threw up. So in hindsight, this story is really funny because in the moment it was not funny. I was panicking. So he said he choked. And obviously a little kid, when they choke or throw up for the first time, they think they choked. Because that's kind of like, I guess, the motion that happens, or like, I don't know. That's just kid logic, I guess, because when my daughter threw up for the first time, she said she choked. So I instantly started to panic because my biggest fear is vomit, and he's saying he choked, and he's soaking wet. So I don't know what to do. He literally just pooped all over himself like 5 minutes ago. So I'm panicking. So I pick him up like as gentle as I can. What was that?
Keith's phone.
Oh, Keith, turn that down. So I picked him up
Marine.
and like put him to the side, and I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my god! So I'm like shaking, and I went to pick up the mattress sheet. So I had to lift the mattress because it's really tight. So I picked it up. What's the number to the studio? 860.
Well, actually, I was gonna set up the multi-line system and give him that number. So
somebody wants to call.
yeah, if you want to give me a minute, I'll set up the multi-line.
Perfect. Hold on, Lewis. I'll tell you the number in a second.
Hold on.
So I picked up the mattress. You have to bend it up to pull the sheet off because it's really, really tight. And I picked it up, and the substance on the mattress was cold, like ice cold. And I turned around to ask Luca what happened, and he's holding his juice cup upside down, and it's pouring out. It's like leaking. So I unscrewed the cap, and it just turns out that the top of the cap was crooked, and he didn't throw up at all. And I panicked for nothing.
Jim, you want to give us 1 second?
And then call back.
We only have 25 minutes left, you know?
Gina, well, you only have 25 minutes? Well, I was going to do a multi-call, but...
Because other people want to call. Because we're popular today. Anybody who's listening, be sure to hit the little share button at the top so we can reach more viewers and more listeners. The more listeners we have, the more popular we are.
Okay, Jim, hold on.
Hold on, Jim.
The more you get entered into Gina's sweepstakes.
Yeah, Gina has a sweepstakes.
All right, Gina, you're going to have to take it over for a minute because I got to drop him off the line. Jim, don't hang up. Hold on.
My God.
So what's
Gina's
the
sweepstakes. The more listeners we have, the more views we get, the more sharing, and the more subscribing, and the more calls we get, somebody will win a free dinner with me. And by free, I mean you're paying for it. And by paying for it, I mean you're literally going to take me out to dinner and buy me food and probably a bottle of wine, and then that's it. That's the sweepstakes. So make sure you share this.
Oh, is that what makes you happy? Dinner and wine?
Dinner and wine. Dinner and wine makes me happy. What makes you happy? Ooh, kittens make me happy.
Okay, dinner, wine, and kittens.
Dinner, wines, and kittens. Yes. So that's the sweepstakes, except the sweepstakes really for me. So this is like the Bachelorette. One lucky winner. Mace is probably like, excuse me? You know, this is a great place to work. I love my studio and all my people because I'm barefoot and hanging out with a cat and Melissa. And it's fantastic. Who could ask for a better thing? 2105, Jam 1077, 97.7. You got to wear actual clothes and shoes. Not at United FM. I could be naked, but that's probably called pornography. This is what it's like when me and Melissa are on the show. So, my mom said no more kittens for Gina.
But they're so cute.
Update on the kittens. One of them got put down. I don't know if I said that last week. And the other 3 are on antibiotics for their eyes. And
Jim's back in.
Yeah, but your mom said no more kittens.
Okay, welcome to the conversation, Jim.
All right, I'm going to give you...
Yeah, your mom said no more kittens.
I know. I just said that like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, well...
I forgot that you were on hold. Also, so
Yeah.
the rest of the kittens are doing fantastic. The lady took them home herself because they need a lot of care and attention. They're gaining weight. They're something with fluids. I think she said that they were on round-the-clock fluids at first, and now they're just doing really, really good, and I'm very excited. But they're not out of the woods yet, so my fingers are crossed. Lewis, the number is...
Keith?
712
712
451
451
0758
0758
and use code 60881. That's 60881.
and use the code 60881. That's 60881. If you need that repeated, Lewis, it's too bad. Should have been paying attention.
I just put it in the on the screen. So if you want to call in and join in with Jim and Gina and everybody else,
And Melissa.
it's 712-451-0758. Again, that's 712-451-0758, and your code is 60881.
I have a funny story to tell about Lewis. Let's hope he calls in. Y'all are gonna
So I
like
did
this one.
promise some people earlier that I would cover the MLB trade deadline. And surprisingly, there were a lot of moves made. However, the Red Sox, Yankees, the Astros, they were all pretty quiet. Tampa Bay seemed to be the most active team. They dealt their ace, Chris Archer, to the Pirates. The Dodgers showed up their infield. They got Dozier from the Twins and also got reliever John Axford. Other than that, I mean, it was pretty laid back. Not any really big deals. The Red Sox did acquire second baseman Ian Kinsler from the Angels yesterday, and the Yankees acquired pitcher Lance Lynn from the Twins. But not a big barnstorming trade deadline for Boston or New York. And that sums up 2018 MLB trade deadline.
I don't follow baseball, although I do like the Boston Red Sox, and I have an Ortiz jersey, and that's about it.
You don't like baseball, but you got an Ortiz jersey.
I used to follow it when Ortiz played. Then after he played and me and my ex broke up, baseball's just not one of those things that's on my TV now. It's usually a Netflix and chill kind of day, like all day, because I canceled cable, so we watch all of the movies.
Speaking of Netflix, have you watched Orange is the New Black?
No.
They, on season 1 through 5, they touched on transgender.
I'm going to have to watch it. Mace, have you seen it? Okay, Lewis said, let me get my vocals ready. And Nicole said, hey. Lewis, it wasn't a zip code. It was an access code. Oh.
Wow.
Now, mind you, if you call in and if you act idiotic, I can mute you or eject you. So we do have control over the phone system in here.
Yeah, so watch yourself. Can't mute me, though. I mean, you can. But then there wouldn't be a show.
Yeah, sure, what I'm still here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wow, there's an echo. Mom said, I've seen it. I love that show. Atta girl, Mom. Way to support. Woo! It's a bunch of lesbians on there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a bunch of lesbians. Mom's watching.
Yeah.
That makes me uncomfortable, kind of.
There's a couple, if I'm not mistaken.
Makes me uncomfortable when my mother was watching that. But it's fine. It's fine. She's also... Oh, I am very excited because I am so obsessed with The Office, and I have a Dundee Award, in case anybody didn't know. And my mom now watches The Office, and I am so excited for that. I like telling people that. Hi, my name's Gina. My mom watches The Office.
Oh, I'm with Orange
yeah.
is the New Black.
You did tell us that you had a
Dundee Award.
Dundee Award. Hey, Nicole.
For Best Cackle.
Yeah.
Although... Mace says I don't have a cackle.
Aw.
He said it's not a cackle, it's just a laugh. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Let's see if he's still listening. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear our phone call. This is making
They
me
haven't popped in yet.
very upset.
They said they'd get their vocals ready or something.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
So again, it's the phone number is 712-451-0758. Use code 60881. And eventually, the next show will have it so you can just dial the studio line, enter in the code, and you'll be able to get into the conversation.
That'd be perfect.
There he goes with the into the. It's into the award.
Into the award.
Into the.
Like INTDA, into the.
Go park the car. Yeah, where is this other caller?
I don't
Why
know.
is Gina sticking her tongue out?
I was fixing my tongue ring. Because I can do what I want.
Melissa's picking her nose. Gina's sticking her tongue out.
And stand corrected, Jim. It is not a word. I just looked it up on Google. It does not exist. INTDA, right?
Into?
Yeah, the
Into the-
language.
It is not in the English
Thanks,
language.
Nicole.
I have some weird accent. I don't know what it is. Or
Oh,
something.
absolutely. All right, so Nicole has a little boy, and tomorrow is his first birthday. And since we only do this once a week, we are going to wish little Ray a happy first birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Woo! We should start doing that weekly. We should announce birthdays to our listeners. Anybody who wants to shout out for their birthday or an anniversary or, I don't know, a hookup. I don't know. We'll just do it. Be part of Gina's Corner.
Yeah, we will give shout-outs for birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions. Photos are $20. They include the autograph. Yeah, that's about it.
Photos? What photos?
Our 8x10 autographed photos.
Of us?
Yeah, of us.
I could be famous. Anybody wants my picture and wants an autograph, let me know. $20. We're selling them. Didn't know that. Thanks, Jim, for tuning me in. Also,
And 6 of that goes to the studio.
how about 5? Call it even. So, 4. 3. Like $1.50.
What are you guys bidding me down?
My friend Bree said she's going to keep.
about bidding.
My friend Bree said she's going to rewatch the replay of my show later. So shout out to Bree because I know she's going to be listening. I love you, and thank you for being my friend and being such a good friend to Mace.
And speaking of replay, I hooked you guys up with your own podcast.
Yes,
now.
we have a podcast, people. Podcast. That way you can listen to us on this radio station. You can listen to us on our live feed that we share on Facebook. You can also listen to us on our podcasts.
You can watch us on the podcast, right?
Or is it just listen?
No, it's only listen.
Where in the hell is this caller?
I don't know. My mom said she better get a free photo for her birthday. Mace
Yeah,
said
you can get a
Dee's
photo.
birthday's coming up. But I'm not... Am I going to be here for
Not like you don't see Gina every day, Mom.
Yeah, Mom. Goodness. Although, what picture am I signing? I gotta get prints done now. I gotta go get pictures
Oh my
done
God.
of my good side. I got my good side, now I can get my better side.
That was your good side.
No, now I need the better side.
It is literally the picture of us sitting in the studio.
Literally.
I don't recall such picture taken. Was this taken with my approval? Was
Oh my
I
God, I
pranked?
showed it to you.
Did I smell chloroform?
Oh my God.
Mom, you can have free whatever you want.
I have a rag with chloroform on it. Hold
Does
on.
this smell like chloroform to you?
Well, while the show's
Wow, Mace, now you're
close.
listening. Ugh, get away from me. Get away from me. He's
While the
send
show's
help.
coming to a close,
Send help.
don't forget.
Jim. Yes, chloroform. Woo! Yo, people are going to call 911. They're going to be like, she was tranked or something.
Wow.
I know. What are you
Don't
spraying?
forget, if you're in the Virginia area, come down to Scares That Care, Doubletree Hotel in Williamsburg, 50 Kings Mill Road. We are literally right
Smells
next
delicious.
to... What the hell is going on? I just saw the video.
It's dish soap.
He
Oh,
tried to
drug
chloroform
use. He
me.
tried to suffocate you.
He just saw it. There was a lag.
Don't forget it's lapsed.
He must be.
So, anyway,
No, don't
here's a
forget,
care.
come on
Right
down.
by.
Help us help these kids. We are right next to Busch Gardens. A lot to do down here, Colonial Williamsburg. Most importantly, you have Scares That Care this weekend at the Doubletree.
Are you laying in your hotel room by yourself, talking deeply into your phone? Because that makes me uncomfortable. I'm calling the cops.
Oh, really? No, I'm in the shower.
That
Oh,
makes
God.
me, that makes me even more uncomfortable. Next.
No. Told you I was outside. I'm actually sitting at the desk right now because it was raining pretty hard out.
Staring at the wall.
No, I'm looking out the window.
Oh.
Watching all the pretty streaks of lightning. It's great. Good time. I feel like I'm freaking home.
I don't like thunder. I'm actually afraid of it. Also, I forgot to tell you, Jim. So my friend Sarah Beer, her last name's Beer. Best last name ever. Her mom, I believe she said, is a registered nurse and can get us in touch with doctors and specialists for mental illness. So if we want to do a show on that and we want to see if doctors want to call in and discuss it, I can see if that's something that her mom can do for us, because I know we want to do a show on it and it's a big topic. It's probably big enough to where we could probably do 2 shows on it. But anyway, she said she could get us in contact with these doctors and give us a list and give us information and stuff like that so that we can use it for the show.
Well, it sounds like a plan to me.
That's what I said, so I'm going to message her after and we're going to get that going. Obviously not for next week's show, but, don't forget, I'm not going to be here 2 Tuesdays from now. No.
I know. A week from today.
Yes.
Yes. Also, we need to do a show on... I had a really good topic, but I want to wait until you're in here. Obviously not in Virginia. It was... I wanted to do a show on aliens. Like Area 51, and I think we talked about that a little bit last week after we cut off line, we were outside.
Yeah, a little bit. We can definitely do a show on aliens.
Because I think that's an interesting topic. Obviously, it fits right in with our horror movie theme and our horror genre. But I think that is a good topic, and I think that we could get a lot of information on it. And a lot of our viewers seem to like things like that, too.
Well, that's what our show's about.
Oh, my goodness. Did I mention that I saw A Quiet Place? I can't remember. All of our shows are blending together.
No, you were going to watch that, but you haven't told me yet.
I watched it, and after I was done watching it, I walked very quietly around my house, afraid to make noise. The movie gave me anxiety, and 10 out of 10. I would watch it again.
And you know what? For a movie that's got very, very little monologue, it was really, really catching.
Like, edge of your seat, into it. It was so good. So good. Oh, yeah, I remember. I said I was going to watch it because John Krasinski from The Office was in it. And update, I did watch it, and it was probably one of my favorite movies that I've ever seen. Not to be biased, but
Fair enough.
I would totally recommend it to our listeners. And obviously Lewis isn't going to call. He probably got nervous because I said I was going to tell a story about him. I'm going to tell it anyway. So, I am terrified of clowns, like super terrified. And this is because when I was little, my cousin was having a birthday party and me and my sister were there, and they hired a boy and a girl clown. And I was really uneasy about them at first, so I went and hid in the kitchen. And I wasn't afraid of them. It was weird to me. I'd never seen a clown before. I was only 6 or 7. And so they did like a head count of the kids, because I guess my aunt and uncle told them how many kids were there. And they said that they were missing somebody, and it was me, and they came and found me in the kitchen and tried to drag me into the other room. And I mean, like, I was resisting, and they were pulling me, telling me, come on, little girl, like, let's go play, blah, 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 whatever. Like, and I'm bawling my eyes out, and my uncle is, like, telling them to leave me alone. Oh, Lewis said, wait, I'm calling. So, backstory, super afraid of clowns. So, ever since then...
You said that a half an hour ago.
So, I know. Come on, Lewis. Step your game up. So, ever since then, I've been terrified of clowns. Like, the first It that came out, when the movie came out, I was really little, and I refused to see it when I got older. Refused. Absolutely was not about to go subject myself to watching a movie with a scary clown. Not just a clown, but a scary clown. And so, obviously, when the new It came out, my best friend bought tickets and told me I was going. So I went. I'm very proud of myself because I sat through the whole entire thing. But the first 10 minutes, I felt like I was going to throw up. And I was shaking so bad.
Did it look like Pennywise?
It was worse. The new It was worse.
That is Pennywise.
Very much worse. Yeah, but he doesn't look like the original Pennywise. He's a lot scarier.
Well,
me.
yeah.
I would take the old Pennywise over the new Pennywise any day. And his voice, whew, still hear that, back of my head. Lewis, you need to call her. I'm just going to start telling the story.
They all float down here.
No. Have you seen the new It?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yep, of course.
I know you have. I was asking Melissa.
They were doing memes about it, too.
Yeah.
There's candy down here.
Or puts The Office on. Someone's climbing down there. That was obviously the one that I was like, share. All right, Lewis, I'm just gonna tell a story anyway. Okay, so when I was in high school, I took a lot of art classes, and Lewis was in one of my art classes. And one of the projects that we had to do was make a paper mache something out of our face. So we would make a mold of our face, and we had to paper mache it, and then we could design whatever we wanted. I made a dollar bill out of my face. So my face was the center of the bill. Get it? That was fantastically clever, and it was huge, and I cut the face out and saved the face and threw everything else away. Anyway, so one of the kids in my class, he decided, because he was obsessed with two things, Michael Jackson and Pennywise the Clown. Obsessed. So he made a replica of the Pennywise face using his. And Lewis must have caught wind that I was terrified of clowns, because he decided that it was going to be a good idea to come up behind me with the mask on and scare me. And not only did he scare me, but when I got up crying and tried to move, he chased me with it. And I held that grudge for a very long time, because that just made my fear 10 times worse. But now I'm a new woman. I've seen the new It movie. Y'all clowns ain't coming after me. I mean, you might. Just don't, please. Don't chase me. Don't, lock me in a corner. I'm just saying, I will fight back now. That was, one of the most terrifying
I'm thinking
things.
for the Halloween show, we're going to dress up as clowns.
I'll dress up as a clown. I just won't wear my contacts so I can't see you. I almost wore my cat ears today. It's like a little thin headband with little thin cat ears, but I didn't think it would sit correctly. The headphones would sit correctly on my head with the cat ears on, so I didn't do it. So, bummer. However, I am going to buy my own headphones with cat ears on them. I had already told Keith that, because he told me to get my own.
What about the Joker?
The
Do
Joker?
you have a problem with the Joker?
I did. I used to for a really long time, and then I watched the new Batman, and I was okay with it. Still uneasy. He not so much, but in the beginning when they were robbing the bank and the clowns, obviously they were all wearing clown masks. Those made me uncomfortable, and I always had to look away from the screen. But no. I'm not for clowns. The Joker was okay. Obviously, after that movie came out, a lot of people wore the Joker for Halloween, so I had to kind of get used to it. And then we had that clown epidemic. Is that what we call it?
Yes.
Where clowns were just standing there, with knives and, attacking people and stealing children. That terrified me. I don't like clowns on a good day, and now they're literally terrorizing us.
They were terrorizing people so bad that they would arrest them.
Yeah. Good. Arrest them. Take all of the clowns into jail. All of them. Lewis, guess what? The show is over in 5 minutes, so you literally have 3 minutes to call. I'm waiting.
Lewis is in a lose out.
He is. L is for Lewis, and L is also for losing out. Or maybe he's just not going to call because I told that clown story, and now he's ashamed and doesn't want to call because he doesn't want to show his voice on the air.
So just a reminder, Project Arrowhead is brought to you by the Mohegan Sun's Big Three, Lansdowne Pub, Avalon Nightclub, and the Vista Lounge. For VIP treatment, get a hold of Chris Cody. He will hook you up. That is the Lansdowne Pub, the Avalon Nightclub, and the Vista Lounge. Located in the Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. Are we really sponsored by them? Do they pay us? Oh.
Where'd he go?
Jim?
I'm here.
Oh.
Okay, Lewis said he's going to call, but I'm still waiting for my phone to ring.
It's got 4 minutes.
Well, now that the show's over, there's no point.
Well, Jim, I hope you enjoyed the rest of your Scares That Care.
I hope so. It's pretty nasty outside. It's really good thunderstorms, though. I miss these kind of thunderstorms.
I wish I could experience one.
Making my eyebrows
But-
dance.
No.
Here in Connecticut, we get ripped off on everything, including taxes.
Right? Don't forget, if you can't make it down here to Scares That Care, you can always go to www.scaresthatcare.org, and you can donate that way. You can find out information on the charity. You can see who our recipients are every year and get all kinds of information on the Scares That Care weekend and anything else that we're involved in.
All right. Well, that is it for this Tuesday. And Lewis, you missed your shot. Guess you're just going to have to tune in next Tuesday
Wow.
when we don't really know what we're talking about. All right. I hope everybody has a fantastic week and happy August because that starts tomorrow. And we are out.